So we are at 8 Temple Street in West Medford, and I'm with Henry and Evelyn Milorin. And today we're mostly going to be talking to Henry some of the things that we talked about last time. I'm going to bring up this time. Now, I want to say one thing, which is that this house is the very same house that we have the beautiful pictures of all the paintings. So there's another video that has all of the paintings in 3 or 4 of the downstairs rooms of this lovely house. And also I want to mention that Henry and Evelyn brought up 2 children in this house and have lived here a long time.
Yes.
How many years?
It'll be 37.
37 years in August.
37 years.
37 years in August.
I'd like to start with when you came from Haiti to West Medford at age 20. How did you find West Medford when you first got here?
When I came here, West Medford was strange. The diversity was there. It was a community, but I don't think I was accepted. I was embraced in a community as someone who came here. I had to find my integration. I had to integrate myself. And, even though, you know, if you look at it, it was black, predominantly black people live here. But you might stop by. If you say hello to the guy, he doesn't even respond to you. But see, growing up in Haiti and being part of a Boy Scout, I grew up with this type of leadership. If you see somebody on the street, say hello to them, you know. So we've done that. It wasn't there. It takes a long time before we will accept it. On that 69 Sharon Street, we had 2 Haitian families, okay? And on the other side of Monument Street, you had another Haitian family, but that was married to a black American, okay? And it's like they had their own little, you know, they go from one another house, but no one else's house.
So, did they include you?
Oh, I was part of their life. I was part of, because being Haitian, I was part of them. And I'm the one who came in and said, you know, you guys got to step out of that box. You guys, you know, do you know the person next door to you? No, I don't. I said, go get up and find out their name.
I remember that Phyllis Douglas was an exception to this rule.
Mrs. Douglas is a God created her for a purpose, and I think she followed that purpose. And she, you know, you have to remember, she was a foster mother. Okay, a foster mother is someone with a big heart, not a big head. I think she had a big heart. Okay, Phyllis reach out to everybody. Phyllis make you feel like you are natural. Okay, you were part of a family. And then I ran into a friend of mine who took me to the West Medford Community Center, and that did it. When I got to the West Medford Community Center, I started to talk and approach people, introduce myself to people. Then they realized, well, this kid, you know, he can be one of us. If you pursue, you have the determination, and you try, you don't give up, I think you can be accepted anywhere. You know.
Just to put something in perspective, you've given us such a good idea of what that was like. It's almost as if we were right there and experiencing it. To put it in a little bit of perspective, I wrote a book called The Voices of West Medford about the African American community, and it just happened that 2 of the people that you're talking about, 2 of the families, the Douglas family and the Fury family, were here the longest.
Yes.
So actually Stephen Douglas's family was here probably as early as 1870. And so you actually did meet some very important people, and they were some of the ones who put out that welcome mat, even if it was a little belatedly put out for you.
Mrs. Douglas always said hello, okay? This is one thing she recognized. When you see an elder in the street, this is basic thing for you.
When you see
someone older than you, always say hello. We grew up with that mentality back in Haiti, you know, because you never know who it could be your cousin, it could be your uncle.
What was your original goal at age 20 for education and for a career when you came here?
I left Haiti with the full objectivity of becoming a dentist. Okay, I wanted to be a dentist. I was fascinated by the work of
You had a brother or two who were
I
dentists.
had two friends.
Friends.
That had their practice right across my house. Back in Haiti, okay, I was the one who used to go when they were in school of dentistry and dental school. I was the one to go there and find people and say, hey, let me see your mouth. Open your mouth. They say, well, I'll check your teeth and say, well, you gotta go. You have a cavity. You have decay. We gotta do something because you need. In order for you to become a dentist, you have somewhere to practice. And there's only one place you're going to practice, in somebody's mouth.
Why didn't you become a dentist? What happened here?
From there on, then responsibility kicked in. The place where I was staying over my cousin, then there was, I think, trust. I will say trust wasn't no longer there.
So you worked at Simmons,
Mattress Company.
And it was right here in West Medford.
Right where you see that U-Haul on Route 16.
Right where the U-Haul is on Route 16, near the Whole Foods, there was Simmons Mattress, and you worked there, although your goal was
to be a
dentist and certainly to go to college, but it was not easy to get to that goal. So I'm just going to speed up a little bit because we've already talked. You worked in several factories.
Yes, I do. From when I was there next to it, where the Tough 100 Boston Ave, where the health organization used to be a boxing company. They call they used to call it CCA, Continental Corporation of America. I've worked there. I left. I went to Bethlehem Steel, where they have Summer Shack in Range Avenue.
Bethlehem Steel. Give me one idea of one of your jobs. I remember that you worked your way up.
Well, and then from back at Container CCA, a guy saw me, my ability of organizing, my ability of communicating, and he says, well, I think I'm going to choose you as my clerk. Okay, so I became a clerk. Okay, the clerk, I was inventory, okay, I was doing shipping, I was doing receiving, and the more he gave me, the more I do, the more money he's paying me an hour, because at the time people were making, if you make $1.75, you're making a lot. If you make $2.25, you're making a lot. I started around that time making about $3.50, $3.55, that's $4.50. It's like I'm rich. I'm making a lot of money, It's like when I take home, when people are taking $50 home in a given week, I'm taking 100, 150. So I get used to it.
You were proving yourself and you were being rewarded. Now, can I go off to, you're also getting college at the same time?
My first college was Chamberlain Junior College in Commonwealth Avenue. And I went to Chamberlain for an associate. But at the time, like I said, the first time I went to school, they gave me a check. Before I even got to the school, the government gave me a check. The military gave me a check for $450. I said, God, that seems good. They're paying me to go to school. I'm going to keep going to school. I think I left Chamberlain. I went to another college there again. I forget the name of it. It was right around the same block, the Back Bay. Then
you went to Quincy.
No, Quincy is later. Before Quincy, I went to New England Central College up in Worcester. That's where I take my started with my computer.
That was studying computers.
I started computer, and then later on I went to Quincy Junior College. I did a few northeastern that didn't, the money wasn't there. Then I did Quincy. After Quincy, I did Anna Maria. Okay.
Anna
Maria College in Paxton, Mass. Okay.
Near Worcester.
But the thing is, we were lucky. At the time in the military, I'm starting to evolve. I'm getting rank. I'm a staff sergeant. And to hold certain position in the military, you have to go to school.
Tell me at this point what you're working at.
At this point, right now, I think I was at Ortex. Yeah, Quincy. I was at Ortex.
What are you doing?
I was a computer operations supervisor. Okay.
What is Ortex?
Ortex was a subdivision of Xerox. When I get the job at Xerox, the guy said, you have your abilities surpass what we hiring you. He hired me as a shipping clerk. Okay. And I recall when I took that job, I used to put together 4 paychecks to pay my mortgage, and my mortgage was nothing. Okay, so, and he says, but I have no choice. He came in and saw me one day working, and he said, "Oh my goodness, did you change that?" I said, "Well, that's how it's supposed to be." You know, he says, "Well, I like it." You know, I said, "Well, then we're going somewhere." The next day I changed something. He said, "I like it more." And there was a
What kind of things were you changing?
What it was, he had a warehouse. To find a box of material, it takes you forever. I said, it doesn't work like that. To find a box of stuff, you gotta close your eyes and walk to something and grab it. You know,
You should know right where it is.
You should know what it was. You should have a reference. You should have a book. You should have something to detail you. You gotta look at that book. I can tell you on aisle 120, I have 30 boxes, okay? And I have to walk in aisle 20 and count 30 boxes, you know? I said, that's how you do it.